Hello everyone, can you hear me? Yes? Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to start by apologizing for my English. I might make up words during the presentation. If you don't understand anything, please just nod and smile and pretend you do. My voice is also kind of cracked because I've been talking way too much this last couple of days, so I'm sorry. That's me, 9 years ago. And yes, my hair was longer, but I promise that's me. The dog I'm holding and whose face is a little bit like, please get off me, is Sophie. Sophie is the dog I adopted 9 years ago, and she's the main reason I went vegan. I always say that I went vegan thanks to Sophie, but that's just partially true. I actually went vegan thanks to social media, and more in particular to Instagram. First of all, because I fell in love with Sophie and social media. And secondly, because it was one of the volunteers who was working at the shelter where Sophie was living, who recommended me to watch the documentary Earthlings. I'm sure you'll know about this documentary. I couldn't watch more than 10 minutes of it. I just stopped eating animals. And I stopped eating animals, but I didn't give up dairy or eggs. Mainly because I was not imagining myself going vegan, because I loved cakes and donuts and all the bakery stuff way too much, and also because for me veganism sounds very extreme. It was not until I opened an Instagram account in 2012 that I met some people from the UK and the United States that were promoting veganism thanks to a plant-based diet, that I decided to transition to veganism. I not only decided to transition to veganism, but I also opened another Instagram account a few years later called Vegans of Spain. It was dedicated to promote veganism thanks to plant-based diets as well. And nowadays it has almost 70,000 followers. This Instagram account has helped me stay committed to veganism and also helped me realize that I wanted to dedicate my life to really spread and promote veganism thanks to plant-based diets. But is my story so unique? Am I the only person in the world who went vegan thanks to Instagram? Spoiler alert, I'm not. I want you to read this sentence. The growth of veganism has partially been fueled by the growth on Instagram. This sentence is part of a report that was made by the Agriculture and Horticulture Development Board of the UK. And although it's a report that is quite biased, they try to relate the growth on interest of Instagram with the growing interest on plant-based diets and plant-based products. They based this sentence on these graphics. So the reason they compare the success of veganism to the success of Instagram is basically because of those graphics. Google searches for veganism have been rising steadily since 2012 in a similar trajectory to the increase of users of Instagram. I know that those of you among the public who are part of the effective altruism movement or who know anything about research might feel triggered by comparing these two graphics, because of course correlation does not mean causation, and more studies will need to be carried out, but it's true that because of being a visual first platform, Instagram is the market leader to share aspirational lifestyle content, and also is the market leader for food and beverage brands. But why though? Are there any reasons for this correlation? A social media experts agency called Linkfluence tried to understand this correlation. And they reached four main reasons to this correlation. They said that veganism is led by a young audience, which is the young audience that most social networks have, and especially Instagram. People use social networks as the source of information. Veganism is controversial, and controversial topics in social media spread rapidly, and vegans want vegan food to make it look good. To reach this conclusion, they start analyzing 1 year's worth of conversation around veganism on Instagram. And they found out that there were three main communities that were driving the vegan movement on social media. These three main communities were self-care and well-being, health and fitness, animal welfare as sustainability. I know this might trigger us a little bit if we're here for the animals, but the two bigger communities were by far well-being seekers and lifestyle communities. They also tried to look for the hashtags that were being used around the term veganism, and they also reflected the same trend. Most of them referred especially to dietary choices, nutrition, fitness, lifestyle, and whole foods. They have not been the only marketing agency studying this plant-based trend. Another marketing agency called Brandwatch monitored the conversation around veganism for a year on Instagram, and they found out that most of them were related to food. Actually, 66% of the posts were related to food. And Linkfluence and Brandwatch, these two companies, have not been, again, the only ones studies these or comparing the growing interest in veganism to the plant-based food trend on Instagram. There have been articles on the BBC News, The Independent, and The Guardian, and other publications that have analyzed this correlation as well. And there's this quote from Deliciously Ella. I don't know if you know this food blogger, but she's probably the most important plant-based foodie or influencer. She almost has 3 million followers on Instagram. And there's the quote she said to The Independent that I really like. And she said, Instagram has enabled plant-based eating to be conveyed as something colorful, abundant, vibrant, and delicious, which has helped shake the preconceptions of it being more like rabbit food. So I think we have all been there, like when someone asks us, what do you eat if you're vegan? So now you just have to go and use the hashtag plant-based on Instagram, and you can show them. I'm sure they will be reassured that we don't eat rabbit food. So before going on and to wake you up a little bit, I would like the people who have an Instagram to please stand up. I'm sorry. The amount of exercise that you're going to do. Okay. Okay, remain there. If you have never ever shared a pic of some of your plant-based dishes or food, then you can sit down. You have never done it. Okay, that's reassuring. Thank you. You can sit down. So all of you who have stood up have helped make this happen. Of course, the rest of us as well. But if we are talking about Instagram, it was mainly people like you. 2019 has been named by The Economist the year of the vegan. I'm sure that you already knew this. It was also said by Forbes that plant-based eating is one of the top trends impacting the food and beverage industry this year. Now, what can we learn from all of this? What's the learning that we can take from the growing of promotion of plant-based food on Instagram? We can take 3 main learnings. If you're using Instagram, remember that it's a powerful tool to use the power of plant-based food. And when I talk about plant-based food, I'm not only referring to posting pictures of your food, I'm also referring to all the content that's food related, meaning everything related to food, such as nutritional facts, product launches, or even environmental impact of food production. I'm talking about making plant-based food like the core of your message. Creating quality content for Instagram. Quality content is content that looks good, that provides useful information, that is sometimes, just sometimes, controversial, and is always inspirational. And last but not least, actually the most important for me is targeting a young audience. Targeting a young audience does not mean only knowing that the segment age of your audience. It means knowing what they like, how they talk like, what kind of visual content they consume, and what kind of music they listen to, what celebrities they like, and even what influencers they look up to. And I don't think I can emphasize this enough, but growing a community, a network of influencers that support your non-profit organization work is crucial when you want to reach a bigger audience on social platforms such as Instagram. I'm 100% sure that if it wasn't for our amazing network of influencers on ProVeg Spain, we would have not reached 37,000 followers that we have right now in just 2 years without any income or investment on ads. So some examples of the content that has been successful on our Instagram account so far, or at least these are some of the 3 most successful. When I say successful, I mean bigger reach and bigger engagement. I know this is not the same as impact, but still that's how we measure successfulness in Instagram. The first one, it says, I'm sorry, all of them are in Spanish, of course. I will try to translate if needed. The first one, it says, bite meat, question mark. So this was by far one of the most successful posts ever. It had almost 13,000 likes with a community of just 37,000 followers. Is a lot, a huge engagement. It had hundreds and hundreds of comments and of shares. And it was successful because it was controversial for 2 main reasons. Of course, it's challenged the general belief that meat is necessary for living. We know it's not. And it was also controversial because it was published in a right-wing publication, newspaper called La Razón in Spain, and we tagged them. So we got a lot of people from that publication coming and somehow trolling our post, but that was helpful to reach a bigger audience. The second one is really informative. When we want to share information on a visual-first platform such as Instagram, infographics are really useful. This one is about the savings you can have by going fully plant-based for a day. One of the reasons that it went more successful was also because it was an International Meetup Day, so we kind of took the momentum as well. The third one is a quote from a Spanish actress, a celebrity, and this speaks about the importance of targeting the right audience. Actually, 3 out of our top 10 most successful posts on Instagram are quotes from Spanish celebrities that eat plant-based. Let's not call them people. So until now, these tips and doing this on Instagram, at least for us, has been enough. But if you're familiar to Instagram, you would probably know that they keep on changing the algorithm, and that's driving us all crazy. The reach keeps decreasing, and we don't really know what to do. So, is it the end of Instagram? What do you think? No? The beginning. That's very optimistic. It's not the end, but it's true that we will need to work harder. I'm not going to go very deep into these because it's quite technical. If you have any questions, you can ask me afterwards. But we'll need to prioritize the stories and not just static pictures for stories. We'll need to do video content, especially created for stories. Instagram is talking a lot about this, and apparently now they're going to prioritize engagement on stories too, engagement on the feed. We should be coherent and constant, meaning we should post daily. We should be careful with hashtags. There are like 100 theories about how many hashtags you should use. 11 used to be like the magical number. Now apparently it's 5. I just think it makes no sense. There's no magic number, just don't overdo. Forget about bad practices at all. Like never ever buy followers or do massive follows and then unfollows, or do shoutouts for shoutouts. It might be penalized by Instagram, and it also looks like really desperate. So please don't do it. Spend money if you have it. So far for us at ProVeg Spain, it has not been helpful because the cost per click was really high compared to Facebook. But apparently they are releasing new possibilities for advertising on Instagram, so it might be worth trying them. And there's also this amazing new donation button that might have some possibilities in fundraising. And last and most important of them all, that's why I wrote it like several times so that you don't forget. Engage, engage, engage. Engagement is like the queen. And apparently now Instagram is going to remove the number of likes on the post, on the news, on the feed. So we are not going to know how many people liked our post, which is like kind of crazy for people who is always checking on that. And the only way we will have to know if our public post is successful are the number of comments and how we engage with our community, which is somehow a good thing, because actually I think what we were forgetting about the main reason of social media, which is engaging and conversating with people and just talking to your followers. Besides working harder to get an engaged and bigger audience and community, we will have to keep in mind that the power of plant-based foods can be used also in other visual first food platforms such as TikTok. Have you heard about TikTok? Okay, TikTok has increased tremendously in the last couple of years. It's now the fourth most used in social media account. And actually, what's interesting about this new platform is that it engaged with really young people really well. Besides TikTok and other new platforms that might arise, we should never forget about traditional media. Please, let's all take a minute to appreciate the work that traditional media does. Maybe not a minute, just a few seconds, because I'm running out of time. So when at ProVeg Spain, we thought about our peer and offline communication strategy, we thought about hiring a communication agency that was specialized in lifestyle. And we thought so because I believe that lifestyle media is the old-fashioned one-way communication Instagram. It shares many things in common, like it's a visual-first content, it's aspirational. However, we were not expecting at all how much lifestyle media loves talking about food. Those weird green circles over there are the topics that lifestyle media apparently like the most about plant-based food. I'm going to give you a few examples so you can understand them a little bit better. So in 2017, when we have just started working in Spain, we partnered with a chef, a vegan chef of course, who provided us a special Christmas plant-based menu. We pitched the menu to different media, and besides some online publications, we got a 2-page printed version of the menu on one of the most important leisure and travel magazines in the East region of Spain. That's 2 pages publication. This is an example about the successful of rankings and lists. This is our airline ranking, veg-friendly airlines ranking list published in the printed version of Cosmopolitan. So we pitched that to Cosmopolitan, they printed it on the printed version, and we thought that lists and rankings were really useful for engaging with lifestyle media. But we didn't have the time and the resources to do like really well elaborated rankings such as this one. So we thought that maybe more subjective lists such as top 10 vegan restaurants in Spain or top 5 vegan destinations around the world could also work, and they did. They were based on nothing but our opinion, but they just loved them. And they were published even on important publications such as El País, which is one of the most important newspapers in Spain, and Men's Health, that you probably know about it. We have also realized that having experts is crucial. We work with one nutritionist and one dietitian who are experts on plant-based nutrition, of course. So what our peer agency did at the very beginning of our offline communication work was calling their lifestyle database and telling them that we had experts on plant-based nutrition. So by doing so, we were the go-to organization on terms of plant-based nutrition and diets. And now, if they have any questions related to this topic, they call us, we call our experts, and they speak as a spokesperson for ProVeg. This way, we have appeared in Delva, which is a lifestyle magazine in Spain, a really important one, Glamour, Cosmopolitan, and other lifestyle magazines as well. Merely just by saying we have experts on something that no one really is an expert on, besides them, of course. Another thing that worked really well was engaging with journalists. Just as I said with influencers on Instagram, engaging with journalists and building a relationship with them is crucial. This is an example of one of the pieces that we got from during our campaign, The Week Without Meat. What we did was inviting 3 different journalists from 3 different media to do the challenge, the Week Without Meat challenge. But we did it specifically for them. They got in touch with our dietitian. She made a proper menu for them based on their requests and their necessities. And of course, the 3 of them spoke about the challenge. Unfortunately, none of them went vegan. But they did speak very highly of the challenge, and they did commit to reduce a lot their animal products consumption. So that's something. Our veggie roll gets a lot of media attention. I still don't know why. Probably because it's the only vegan fair that we have in Spain. And this is just one of the hundreds of impacts we have with veggie roll. It's Harper's Bazaar. And our last visual in Madrid actually got or made it to all TV news channels in Spain, all of them, which is really shocking. And they were mainly talking about the Beyond Burger and all of the plant-based food that was available at the fair. Last but not least, another thing they love, just as social media loves, is controversial topics. This reads, can it be called sausage if it's made of pumpkin? When at ProVeg we launched our international petition to avoid the ban of meat names for plant-based meat alternatives, we were not really sure about the impact that this was going to have on the media, because we never really launched controversial topics to the traditional media. We always use a positive and solution-oriented approach. But surprisingly, we got a lot of requests. I was doing interviews like for a week. We appeared again in El País, and we even made it to the national TV on the news. So this is the conclusion I want you to take from this talk. I have told you some tips and examples of what has worked for us in promoting plant-based food on Instagram and lifestyle media. And I'm stressing for us, because if there is something that I've learned during the 10 years that I've been working on communication, is that there is no magical formula at all for success. There are things like cultural differences, like context, like timing, that influence our peer and social media work. And this is communication, this is not science. So having said this, I don't want you to be sad and feel like you wasted your time here. I would like you to remember one thing at least about this speech, and it's that when it comes to visual first platforms such as Instagram or lifestyle media, plant-based food is the trending topic when we talk about veganism. So let's keep in mind that we can also use the power of plant-based food to create a more vegan world. Thank you. Okay.
Do you have any questions? I have a question, because this is all very impressive, but I don't know if you followed what happened on YouTube and Instagram not so long ago, when veganism had kind of a bad marketing phase, when a lot of big YouTubers and Instagrammers, they were quitting veganism and making all these catchy titles like "Why I'm not longer vegan," "Why plant-based diet made me sick," blah blah blah. And do you think it influenced, do you think it kind of ruined the trust for Instagrammers and influencers in the vegan diet?
That's a great question. I have many different points of view about this. The first one, and I don't really want to blame it on ourselves as vegans, but I think that sometimes by creating this buzz, again, these kind of things, it's us who make the topic bigger. And that's one thing. Another thing is that maybe that's one of the things why it's useful to use the term plant-based instead of vegan. Because if someone decided to go plant-based and eat vegan food, then if they change their mind, we don't need to make such a big deal. They just change their diet. I think one of the reasons that why veganism is so controversial is because of these kind of things, that we seem so extreme. I know that's not how we feel, but we look like that to the public. And when we make our conversation more accessible to the general public, and we try to remember myself 10 years ago, on when I talk to my parents and I tell them that there are people criticizing other influencers or people on social media because they went back to eating fish. They look at me like, are you some sort of religion or cult? Why do you have these rules and so on? So sometimes I just think that we make a big deal out of it. And I don't think it really affects veganism. It can affect how people perceive plant-based diets though. And that's why we need to have experts, as I said, to at least say that this is not true. This is not true. I don't know if this answers your question. It's a really, really interesting topic. No, I always want to feel like it's not a trend, it's just a revolution that is here to stay. And I believe that if so many platforms and if so many companies are working on new products, they're not just going to do it because it's a trend or just an Instagram fad. They are doing it because they believe that people is going towards a more plant-based diet.
And yeah.
You're all intimidated by the cat, right? He's so cute.
Thank you for your talk. I just had a question about hashtags. You said that don't overdo them, and I thought that like the maximum amount of hashtags that you use, the more exposure you get because people look for different hashtags. So why not overdo it?
That's the never-ending story. The number of hashtags to get a publication successful. Really, there are like 100 theories about these. The thing is that apparently Instagram is banning the publications that use many, many hashtags. You cannot even use more than, I don't know the number now, I think it's 30. You're not allowed to use them. But the thing is that sometimes apparently, because you never know with Instagram because they're not very public or transparent, they consider it as some spam if you use many, many hashtags. I know that we tend to think that hashtags are like our CEO on Instagram, but that's not really true. So it's better to use this, 5, 11, those are the new numbers that people are saying. I would say 5, but very specific, like, and coherent. If you always talk about the same topic, then it's easier to get or to target the right audience. I don't know if this answer, but don't write like 30 hashtags. That's also one of the things that looks desperate. I'm always so concerned about looking desperate on social media. Like, please be my friend. Please find me.
Do you exclusively use like food pictures and quotes? Does it always have to be positive, or is it okay from time to time to put in a little, this is what you get if you eat this food, and this is what you get if you eat this wonderful, delicious food?
That's a really good question. No, when I say plant-based, it's not just pictures of foods, although they, in some communities or Instagram accounts, they work really well for us, they don't work that well. We usually use a positive communication approach and a solution-oriented approach. That's because that's the way ProVeg communicates, and also because that's the way I always like to communicate. but it is true that sometimes being controversial helps, just like the headline that I showed you, Buy to Meet. It's not, I don't like to spread anger on social media because I feel like it spreads really quickly, but it's dangerous. Just like the example that, I don't remember her name, I think I know, the example she gave about influencers. So I think that controversial topics are okay from time to time. We never show graphic content, never. It works, but I think it can also trigger some people and generate some sort of reactive comments from people that we potentially want to target. Does this answer? Or?
Thank you. You said that we should put pictures on Instagram daily, but is also that true? Because I heard about something about 3 days in a week or something.
I said post daily, but not that doesn't necessarily mean on the feed. So now with stories, we can post daily without posting pictures on the feed. Again, this is like the hashtags. There's not like a magical formula for this. But I hope there was. Otherwise, if there was such a thing, we will all be really successful on Instagram. But I think that what Instagram is trying to do with all the changes is making us spend more and more time on the app. You just have to think about what they've done with links. When you click on a link, you don't go outside the platform, you stay on the platform. You even buy on the platform. So they just want us to spend as much time as possible on Instagram, and I think that's one of the reasons that posting daily works. In fact, we have seen that our engagement and growth has decreased a lot during the last 3 months because I have not been using our account so much. Please don't check it now. So the engagement has decreased tremendously. It's not only posting, it's just literally spending time engaging with people, talking to people. It's kind of crazy.
Thanks, Cristina. I guess what I'm curious about is with 70,000 followers on one account or 37,000 followers, are there tools that you can use to tap into who your followers follow and try to put some of those connections together when it comes to collaboration or funding or other things? Are there effective ways to tap into that?
That's very interesting. I think there are, although I've never used them. And what would be the purpose? Sorry, I didn't get that part. Like to know who they follow?
Well, if you could tap into the information of who your followers are and maybe cross-reference that with your funders or people who support people who support your organization or who support other organizations, it just seems to me that there's a matrix of information that's there and public that's untapped.
I get it. Yeah. So actually, there's this it's not that new tool on Instagram. It suggests you to follow accounts that are similar to the one you're following, and that's based exactly on what you're explaining. The people they follow, the people you follow, and they do this. And there's also like this, I don't know the name in English. There is like a search button, and they suggest accounts that you can follow, and those accounts are exactly based on what you're saying. The interactions you have, the people you follow, the people who follows you. So that's really useful. If you want to know what kind of accounts you follow and your followers follow, it's available on Instagram actually. And it does make sense. I've never really thought of it in the way you're suggesting, but it really does make sense. Thank you.
Now you say how often, that is if possible, daily, so that is like the best. What is like a minimum for for without drowning? When does it become?
I'm not glad to know that. I wish I knew. No one knows. But again, from my experience, the less time you spend on Instagram, not only posting but really engaging with people, the worse. Because I've really seen it happen, like the decrease on followers. We were growing super quickly, and for the last 3 months, it just stopped, like literally stopped. And the engagement rate went from 6 to 3%, something like that. So I don't know what minimum number, but I've been without posting for a few days, and I feel really bad right now. I'm anxious about it. I know that it takes time, and that building a community in Instagram is not easy. If you cannot post daily, at least try to create try to engage with other accounts. Just try to spend some time on the platform by liking other pictures, by making comments on other pictures. And when I say making comments, emojis are not enough. I mean, one emoji is not a comment. That's not a quality comment. You have to say at least like 4 or 5 words. Well done. I'm so proud of you. And emojis.
Hi, could you elaborate a little bit more on how you target your audience?
Yeah.
Seems like a difficult task to me.
It is a difficult task, and that's why what he was suggesting, I don't know your name, Rick, is very useful. Actually, when you know the age segment of your audience, like for example for us is from 18 to 35, you can get to know what the most, for example, what I try to do is try to look up the influencers they look up, that generation looks up to in some, for example, for us is lifestyle and food trends. And I just literally Google it. You can use some platforms and some apps that measure the top influencers for different topics. I can send you a few. I think they're Spain-based, but I can look for a few if you are interested in that. And I learned a lot from that. Like literally, I spent time watching YouTube videos of influencers that teenagers have now. Because I was so scared at the beginning, our community, the biggest segment was 18 to 25, and I don't know anymore how those people talk. So I was so scared, like what language do they use? Am I going to sound like really old to them? Or old but wanting to look young? And so I literally spent like hours watching videos from influencers they follow. And now sometimes I use some of the language they do. If we want to use a celebrity, maybe we want to use, I don't know, like we will use Miley Cyrus instead of a Spanish celebrity, instead of Paul McCartney. I'm sorry, I like you, Paul McCartney, but the engagement is lower. Does this somehow answer? I just look for the influencers and learn to do the things they do. Get inspired, not copy.
Are there any more questions? If no, then thank you, Cristina, so much.